Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Well, happy Saturday. I still need to figure out how to copy Peter Schiff's new opening theme. I'm a bit disappointed he got rid of the bum 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 bum. I have a funny story, or two funny stories about the bum 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 bum. First, many years ago, I think it was 2016 or 17, I was home at my parents' home for Thanksgiving, and uh, my I had turned on a Peter Shit show. It's a Peter Schiff show, but I call it Peter Shit show because he talks shit about the economy. We were sitting at the dinner table and I turned on one of his shows. He was talking about Brexit. That's why I know it was in the 16, 17 year range. And I sang along with Peter. I went bum 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 the Peter Shit show, and I think I even put up my middle finger. And my dad was so upset. He hadn't heard of the Peter Schiff show just yet, and he thought it was some kind of sexual humor or something like that. And he insisted that I turn it off. And so when I explained to dad that it's not sexual humor, it was a financial shit show, my dad was even more upset. He wanted to enjoy Thanksgiving. He didn't think a Peter shit show was an appropriate thing to be listened to at the dinner table for Thanksgiving. And so that was kind of funny. Well, then in 2020, in March of 2020, when we first locked down over COVID, I was really depressed. I mean, as much as I talk about depression today, this is child's play. The only positive I got from the COVID depression was that it was real short. This one is weak but longer, right? So I was depressed out of my mind. Nothing was the same during that first couple of days. I had gone to my favorite grocery store and they were out of stock on so many things that I wanted. My favorite places to hang out were closed, obviously, and uh, obviously we weren't working in the office anymore. I really get a lot of connection from working in the office, and so everything seemed to stop. But then I turned on the Peter Shit Show, and he continued to go bum 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 the Peter Shit Show, and that gave me a nice warm fuzzy feeling because that was one thing that didn't change, right? And so that's when I really fell in love with the jingle. And also, he was talking so badly about how the U.S. was handling the COVID situation. So it really was a Peter shit show. And uh, when I first moved to Phoenix, that became something to help me get over the transition. And not long after that, I decided to copy his opening theme. And I would come on my show and I would say, bum, 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 the Peter Shit Show. And I would wave a middle finger at the screen. Well, unfortunately, I started getting a ton of dislikes. And that's when I decided to change my show to become a Peter Dislike Show and ask people for dislikes. Because when I ask for dislikes and I get them, it doesn't feel so badly anymore. But unfortunately, I've been having significant physical health problems as a result of heartache. I've never felt this way before. I've been much more lonely than I let's talk about some other times. I had to leave high school early, take a GED exam. I was working on I was going to college part time and I wanted to go full time. And I also had a lot of drama at my high school. In retrospect, some of my classmates in high school were probably jealous of where I was, of what I was doing with school, and it caused a lot of drama. And long story short, I kind of got pushed out of high school. I didn't feel physically pain like this though back then. I had a time when I had eczema all over my body, and wasn't able to leave the home. This was before the days of remote studying, and missed out on. Well, I somehow I didn't miss too much school, but I did have to excuse myself a number of days, and it felt like I was in jail that time because I would want to do something and my body would prevent me. And I remember asking God, what did I do wrong to be put in jail like this? And eventually I got the answers. But I didn't feel heartache. I felt pain from the eczema. I don't think I felt heartache though that time. I was working on my PhD when I had gotten taken advantage of financially by a girl, and I had to break up with her. Uh, and then I was all alone, and I didn't feel pain that time. I remember being all alone and all that. I actually remember when I looked at my finances. I remember calculating how many months I would have to live very simply. Right, definitely no more dating, and it was a large number. I won't say it on here because I don't want people to compare themselves to me and say, "Oh my God, I didn't get that badly." But I remember having to basically, it was kind of like being grounded for a number of months, right, just to catch up with my finances again. Because it's what I have a weird relationship with money. If I accumulate some amount of money or whatever financial goal and I lose it, I'll always remember how high up here I was and want to get back there, even if it comes at the expense of missing out on various things. Um, it is so weird. I gotta not look at my investments, or I'll start to get that kind of problem. I, I've been uh, I've been working on some astrology for calculating the markets, and I've been doing very well there. But I got to be careful because if I start messing up financially, I'll get into this drama. So, anyways, there was a time for 6 months where I didn't date, where I should more accurately say didn't go on dates with other people, and so I didn't feel that chest pain syndrome that I did this past year. And this next couple of months is going to be really painful if it doesn't go right. Here's why. We're coming up to the holiday season. I really want to be traveling this holiday season, especially to Taiwan. I had a really good time in Taiwan in the winter of 2019 and 2018. I haven't gone back since then, and I know why I haven't gone back since then. COVID didn't help, but after COVID, the main reason is that if I were to fly to Taiwan today, I wouldn't have anybody to call home to talk about my wonderful trip. And when I get home to Sky Harbor Airport in Phoenix, I'll be all alone again. I haven't gone on a serious date here in the Phoenix area since moving here. I mean, I did kind of mess around a little bit, but I kind of want to get that in order uh, before I leave on the trip. That's what I thought last year as well, and that's kind of how I'm feeling this year again. I got some events to try out this weekend. The other thing that's making me really lost is that right now my job takes me from I have one gig at Apache Junction, the other one's in the downtown Phoenix area, and so I live in Apache Junction. The cost of living here is a lot less than over in Phoenix. Over in Phoenix, I wouldn't be able to afford this kind of living situation. And then all the social activities are elsewhere, right? Either in Phoenix or at least Tempe. And so uh, even just to try to get my situation in order for that trip to Taiwan requires me to put hundreds of miles on my car every week. And I'm just lost from trying to do that. I don't know if lost is the right word for that. And I've been using a lot of substances to help me cope with this. Caffeine, especially, workaholism. and also like I alluded to earlier, the day trading of my Roth IRA using the astrology calculations, and also eating disorder kind of. I tend to swing on a pendulum with the eating disorder problems, though. Some days I'll look at the clock and be surprised that I've already gone 30 some hours on a fast without even realizing it sometimes. And other days I'll be chasing food like there's no tomorrow. And uh, I don't think there's ever been a time in my life where I've had so many substance use disorder kind of, substance and soft addictions, right? Uh, Also, even just the recording of these videos almost feels like an addiction sometimes too, right? Um, but yesterday I offered some reward. Go watch that video because I'm serious about it. I just want my life to be off of hold, right? I don't necessarily need to meet the right person for the rest of my life, my forever partner. I don't need to meet that person today, but I do want to meet somebody who can take my life off of hold, right? The trips, the using of the caffeine and the eating disorders, that right, get me over that, right? And then I can finally settle down and try to meet that right person, right? Maybe that right person might even be myself, right? I'm just not realizing it at the moment because life has been on hold because of all of this, right? I don't know if that made sense. So watch my last video, and if you, especially if you live in the Phoenix area, because I'm serious about that. I may even up the reward as we get closer to the Christmas season, and I need some more resolution to that. But continue to pray for me, and I'm gonna look into copying Peter Schiff's new opening theme. To I don't know if he deleted it because of me though. I I He never acknowledged me. I naively thought 2 years ago when I first started copying his theme that one of these days he was going to talk about me and how somebody had copied his opening theme and what it means in terms of the popularity of his show and how more people are going to be listening to him, more people are going to be buying gold and silver. Don't delay, buy now, right? So don't try to wait for the price to come down. I thought he was going to do that. I was naive. This was 2 years ago. And so I can't believe it has taken him 2 years to respond by changing his opening theme on his show. And so I'll never forget that first day of COVID. It's that first week of COVID. Mars and Jupiter came into conjunction in the sky. I think it was March 19th of 2020. I had just gone out of my favorite grocery store and wasn't able to find what I wanted to eat. I was looking for a brand of kielbasa sausages that I like. They were sold out. And I got out of the store and I went to look for Mars and Jupiter in the sky, and they were sitting right there just for me to look. And I remember thinking that, wow, at least something is normal, right? So that was a good feeling. And then I came home. I had just moved into an Airbnb that I scrambled to find, and I came home to turn on the Peter Shit Show. That Airbnb was kind of funny. I gotten a really good deal because obviously nobody was traveling at the time. I had only booked the place for 3 weeks because I used to live out of my car, and I thought I only needed that place for 3 weeks before we went back to normal, and I would have a funny story to tell everybody from then on in. Obviously, we all know what happened 3 weeks later, and I was looking for another place to live. And then I realized that because of all the drama, as part of the stimulus bill, our governor had signed an eviction moratorium, and we could continue to live at the same. The landlords couldn't raise our rents, even if you had only lived there one day. It was kind of interesting. Go back and read that if you're curious. And so I brought it up to the owner, who was understandably very upset and didn't think it applied to her. And but then I guess she realized that she wasn't going to rent out that place to anybody else anyway. And so I continued to pay. I think it was about $20 a night for that place. So 600 a month for what should have been a $1 or $2,000 a month of arrangement in more normal times, right? I mean, I could look up. I still remember that place. I could look it up to see what the price is today. I guarantee it's at least 1,500, probably, right? All right, continue to pray for me by leaving a dislike on this video. I continue to feel chest pains, and I hope to have a more normal relationship with the caffeine, the food, the workaholism issues, the day trading and the gambling with the day trading. Unfortunately, I've been going haywire on quite a number. The art projects. I've been going haywire on so many things to try to relieve um, some of the dramas that I've been having in my everyday life, and pray that I find some way to go to Taiwan. I have the money, I have the time and everything. I just don't have the right circumstances that make me want to do that at the moment because of my problems with relationships here in the Phoenix area. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.